This episode is about direction. Direction defines where we are going. It translates identity into movement. Through vision, we describe the desired future. Through ambition, we define the scale of aspiration. Through strategic intent, we commit to pursuing it. But direction does not stand alone. Identity anchors it, analysis will test it, choice will refine it, performance will define its success, allocation will fund it, execution will deliver it. Direction is the navigational force of the system. Without direction, identity remains static. With direction, potential becomes momentum.
All right, welcome back. In our last explainer, we dug deep into the bedrock of any solid strategy, and that's identity. We figured out how to answer that all-important question, who are we? But today, we take the next logical step. Because once you know who you are, the real question, the one that kicks everything into gear, is where are we going? And that, my friends, is the power of direction. So here's what we've got on tap today. First up, we're going to connect the dots from identity to direction. Then we'll get into the nuts and bolts, the direction framework itself. After that, the fun part, we'll see how this works in the real world with some amazing case studies from Apple, Tesla, and even the UK's National Health Service. And finally, we'll wrap it all up so you can actually start using this stuff to set your own strategic course.
Okay, let's dive into our first section, from identity to direction. Think about it like this. Your identity, that's your anchor, your roots. It's what keeps you stable and grounded. But hey, a tree with only roots doesn't grow, right? It's just stuck. To actually grow, you've got to reach for the sky. You need to create some momentum. You need a direction.
And this right here is a really simple but honestly super powerful idea. Identity is who we are. It's the anchor. But direction, that's where we are going. It's the engine. See the difference? An anchor is designed to keep you still. An engine is designed to move you. Direction takes that solid sense of self and turns it into forward motion. Because let's be real, you can have the best ship in the world, but without a destination, you're just floating. And man, this quote just hits the nail on the head. Execution without direction becomes motion without meaning. Think about that for a second. It's a huge trap so many organizations fall into. You can have the smartest people in the room working their tails off, executing perfectly, but if they're all running in different directions, it's just chaos. It's wasted energy. It's motion without any meaning. A clear direction is like a compass for the whole team. It makes sure every single bit of hard work is actually pulling you towards the same goal.
Okay, so we're all on board, right? Direction is absolutely crucial. But how do you actually build one? Where do you even start? Well, that's what Section 2 is all about, the direction framework. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the blueprint. Because a really powerful direction isn't just some vague, fluffy dream. No, it's a piece of architecture. It's something you design and build with intention. So what is direction really? At its core, it's the bridge that gets you from your identity, who you are right now, to where you want to be in the future. And that bridge is held up by three really important pillars. First, you've got to paint a picture of that future. Second, you need to decide just how big and bold you're going to be. And third, you have to actually commit to the journey. That's it.
Pillar number 1 is vision. This is your what. It's the destination on the map. I want you to think of it like a painting, a really vivid, high-definition picture of what success looks like. We're not worried about the how just yet. That's for later. Right now, the only job is to make that future destination so incredibly clear, so real, that everyone in your organization can close their eyes and see the exact same thing.
So the question you've got to ask yourself is this: what does long-term success actually look like? And I'm not talking about hitting next quarter's sales numbers. No, this is bigger. This is about the end game. If you could wave a magic wand and achieve everything you set out to do, what would the world look like? What would have changed because you existed?
Okay, so you've got your destination. That's your vision. Now we need to talk about ambition. And if vision is the destination, ambition is the gas pedal. It's the throttle. It's all about the scale of your aspiration. It defines the intensity. Are we going to cruise along the scenic route, or are we going to build a freaking rocket ship and get there yesterday? That choice, that's your ambition. And ambition really boils down to these three sharp questions. How big do you want to be? How fast do you want to get there? And how bold are you willing to be along the way? Answering these forces you to get real about what you're truly willing to go after. It sets the temperature for everything that follows.
And the final piece of the puzzle, this is the one that makes it all real. It's called strategic intent.
Look, vision and ambition are great, but without intent, they're just dreams. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you put your money where your mouth is. It is a binding commitment to throw real resources, money, people, focus at your goal and to stick with it. It's the difference between saying, wouldn't it be nice if, and saying, we are doing this, period. Okay, I need to pause here for a second because this is a super common mistake and it's a big one. Direction and strategy are not the same thing. Please remember this. Direction is the where. It's the mountain you're going to climb. Strategy is the how. It's the specific path you'll take up that mountain, the gear you'll use, the route you'll choose to beat the other climbers. Get these two mixed up and you're going to have a bad time. All right, theory time is over. We've got the framework, we've got the blueprint. Now let's see how this thing actually performs in the wild. For Section 3, we're diving into our first case study, the giant itself, Apple. Let's peel back the layers and see how this framework applies to one of the most successful companies on the planet. So for each of these case studies, we're going to use the same simple 5-step breakdown. We'll look at their vision, their ambition, and their intent, the 3 things we just learned. And then we'll see how that translates into their positioning in the market and, ultimately, the transformation they're trying to create. Let's apply this to Apple. Check this out. Their vision? It's not about making faster computers. No, it's about an experience, making technology that feels seamless and empowering. You can feel the difference, right? Their ambition? It's not just to sell a lot of iPhones. It's to be the standard for premium tech. And their intent? Well, you can see it in everything they do. For decades, they've been obsessed with integrating their hardware and software and are fanatical about design. That's intent in action. So what's the end result of all this clarity? A total transformation. Apple went from being a company that just made really, really good products to a company that runs a massive, powerful platform. Their direction was the roadmap that took them from just selling you a great computer or a great phone to weaving you into an entire world of Apple services, devices, and experiences. It's brilliant. Okay, on to Section 4. Now let's really put this framework through its paces. Can it handle completely different kinds of organizations? We're going to look at 2 more examples, a radical industry disruptor, Tesla, and something totally different, a huge public service, the UK's National Health Service. First up, Tesla. We're using the exact same 5 steps. Let's see how the same logic explains one of the most disruptive companies of our time. Tesla's vision is just huge. It's not about cars, it's about a sustainable future for the planet. Their ambition is equally massive, to speed up the entire world's shift to clean energy. And you might think that sounds crazy, but then you look at their intent. They are absolutely relentless. They're committed to insane innovation speed, building factories at a scale nobody thought was possible, and treating a car not like a machine, but like a computer that's constantly getting better. And just like with Apple, this clear direction is driving a massive transformation. Anyone who still thinks Tesla is just a car company is missing the point entirely. They're building a fully integrated clean energy platform. The cars, the chargers, the batteries, the solar panels, it's all one big system. And for our last case study, let's jump into a totally different arena, the massive, complex world of public healthcare with the UK's NHS. The goals here aren't about profit, obviously, but the need for a clear, powerful direction, it's just as critical, if not more so. So what's the big transformation agenda for the NHS? It's a huge shift. They're trying to move from a system that is reactive, meaning it waits for you to get sick, and siloed, to one that is integrated, focused on preventing you from getting sick in the first place, and uses digital tools to make it all happen. It's a monumental undertaking, but that clear direction is the only way to even begin. Okay, let's pull the camera back and bring this all home. We've covered the theory, we've looked at real-world examples. Now, in our final section, let's see exactly where direction fits into the bigger picture, the whole strategic operating system. And here it is, the whole system in one place. It all starts with identity. Who are we? That foundation lets you set your direction. Where are we going? Once you know where you're going, you can make clear choices. What will we do to get there? And finally, you have execution. How will we make it happen? You see how it flows? Each step sets the stage for the next. You can't skip a step. So I'm going to leave you with a question to take back to your own team, your own organization. You might have a pretty good handle on who you are. That's awesome. It's a huge step. But is everyone clear on where you're all going? Do you have that clear, compelling, and committed answer? Because without it, the strongest identity in the world is just standing still. It's time to stop just moving and start moving with meaning. It's time to define your trajectory. If you're ready to keep digging into this stuff and build out your own strategic operating system, make sure you subscribe to Infinite Business Dynamics. We've got a lot more to cover. Thanks for joining us.